There is a great deal more of unpredictability in the weather pattern.
It has never been like this.
You go suffer too much before you go get fish.
You could lose almost about 20 meters of beach.
35 million people will be affected. We know that our climate has been changing. The pattern of climate, the pattern of the seasons has been changing. This is seen in terms of the time when the rains come, how long they last. It's seen in terms of when we go from rainy season to dry season. So all of this is part of what is called climate change.
We have a peculiarity as a nation. Unlike other nations of the world, some of them have the problem of flood threat. Some have the problem of desertification. Some have the problem of the threat of erosion. In Nigeria, we combine the three.
My house there here before. Then the erosion don't affect us. That's why we still shift.
What causes the erosion of a place? It is caused by the washing away of the topsoil. And what washes away the topsoil? It is the rainfall of high intensity and short duration.
Now, as the rain falls, the rain now is still heavy. Even it start now, you go heavy parts I see before. So I don't know. I don't even sure whether this place go still there or it no go still there.
In Ikot Ebom Itam, the impact of climate change is quite obvious. That community used to have up to 4 streams, but as of now, these streams have disappeared because the watershed have been destroyed by erosion and advancing ravine.
So you get sometimes where you go there, you come back, you don't feel to go back again because how the hill is high. Sometimes it will take you time for you to stay back from that work where you want to go or school where you want to go because you will be late. And when you see that you will late, you won't feel go back because you won't go that school again because the teacher will beat you or he will angry for you. Even the work where you want to go, if the water is not around, before you go down there and come back, you will suffer enough and you will be weak. I won't do anything.
The projections show that the number of rainy days, especially in southern Nigeria, will decrease, but the aggregate rainfall per annum may not show more significant increase. That suggests that we're going to have more intense rainfall, which of course will have their consequences for erosion as well as for flooding.
Actually, we experienced the flood from the first week of June. It has never been like this, but we have a very heavy rainfall from the first day of June. And we discovered that when we came to farm, the whole place was flooded, as you can see, and destroying all that we have here.
There are figures that actually measure the frequency of these extreme events for some parts of the world, and have shown that over the past few decades they have increased more than they used to be.
In May this year, in 2010, there was a very serious windstorm which devastated most communities in the northern part of Cross River State.
It just come like this. And so it's just to come like this side, they follow this, they go like this. When the thing don't come with power, I hear I see that's when the thing just bring the house to for ground turn like this. Then this the wall way there, just place I be go knock inside the room because the room I be standing this wall one can knock me there, I jump I come out, I run. That house they born behind me this. Be 45 years old. We're there for her. 45. And let this year where I see it happy for her for the house.
Actually, it was last year we started experiencing serious windstorm. Because of the forests that were by the side of most of the buildings, the force of the windstorm was not so severe, but due to the cutting down of the trees, when the wind blows now, the thing just comes direct to the roof and it gives it the power to move it up.
The windstorm came, it was heavy, and then started removing the sheets. If you watch the rain that was falling, it was as if it was in a row. In a space of not up to 3 minutes, the whole thing went down, collapsed as you see it now.
Up the ranch in Obudu, people now are having a lot of difficulties coping because the kind of temperate climate they are used to has changed.
Before, now this cocoa gloss, the big parts like this, but this 2 years ago, we not get anything to chop. The one will come back for France, now empty hand with the carry come. Now the time where we there here, we get big forests. So as they come the chapel farm anyhow, now so grass come they come on now. You know they see bush where with the chapel close house. So now they follow go down. Maybe we will see better place. We will chapel the farm so that when we will do, we feel come out the cocoa chop. But as we go there, nothing they there.
Deforestation have really caused serious effects, and it has also caused a kind of species extinction. Most of the species of trees, the fauna and floras that were being discovered, some herbs within the forest are not being found within the environment because of the issue of deforestation.
We're polluting the atmosphere with gases like carbon dioxide and methane and nitrous oxide and so on, but largely carbon dioxide. If we cut down forests, then the sink for absorbing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is removed, and therefore we leave more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and that causes more climate change.
The time I've been in young, I see monkeys and other things. When I go stream, all of them shake inside, and we get enough food. And even this banana, we live there till the thing wrap. All animals and monkeys, they chop it. But now, if you go there now, it's they're empty.
The problem in Nicodebom that has to do with the squatters, monkey population dwindling at a very fast rate has just to do with the inability of the forests to accommodate them. Nigerian forest is disappearing at the rate of 4% per annum. If you are losing 4%, it means even the protected landscape in the national parks, in the forest reserves, in the game reserves and so on will themselves disappear in the next 20 years if we don't do something about it. Prior to the last century, the whole coastline of Nigeria from Calabar all the way to Brutu area in Delta State was covered with mangroves. And then mangrove provided spawning ground for fisheries biodiversity. The life of people around this area, their canoes, their lumbering activities were all interwoven with mangrove ecosystem.
The harmful depletion of the mangrove is not good for our natural resources. We must find a way of stemming the tide. It is ecologically being replaced with Nipah palm now. Nipah palm, we are told, is not indigenous here.
I stay here with my father till up to this time. Around 1970 something, 79, 70 to 80, 81 like that. During that time, there was fish in the water enough. So that time I used to fishing with my father. So we get enough fish, anything that we need here, we get. But since that time, since around like 2000, 2001, 2000 up to this time, like that. We don't have it like that again.
We must note that it is not a one-factor affair. Overfishing, environmental like pollution, and wrong methods of fishing like using chemicals, electricity, and poor mesh size. This definitely must have negative impact on the stock.
That time they start that my business for a bit small. So my mother, they carry me work that business. So that business in there now, no better. Now suffer too much. Now in there. You go suffer too much before you go get fish. You go suffer, struggle before you go get like 1,000 naira.
The fishermen will be going to see when they come back, they say there's no fish. As before, they have been catching, like one person can catch 50 pieces of big shinos. But now you don't see such catch again. The highest they will catch now 10, 15. If somebody catch 20, you said he has over-catch this time. We asked them, they said the volume of water is disturbing them, the wave is too much, and the oil spillage, since they started removing oil here, there's a lot of problem. That oil has scattered fish.
More than 9 million are dependent on fish or fishes for their livelihood, either as fishermen, fish processors, fish marketers, and so on. So it's a large segment of the population that's dependent on fishing.
I am a fish buyer since 1997. During that time, they catch in a very large quantity, and the price of fish has not been raised up as it is now. That time we sold fish a kilo 150 naira, but this time we are selling 800 naira a kilo because they don't have enough cash again.
Just a week ago, about 3 canoes, 3 boats sink. Unknown to them, when the windstorm rises, when the wind starting blowing, the boat sink, and about 3 lives gone.
Rising sea levels is affecting fish catch in these communities because they don't have the capacity and the capability to go into the waters that is beyond what they are used to.
Well, it is globally projected that the sea level will, by the end of this century, that it will rise by another 1 to 2 meters.
Our land was one of the biggest land in this area, and now the water has claimed 2/3, more than 2/3 of the land.
Every piece of land can be described in terms of how many or how high it is above sea level. So when you say sea level rise, you're saying that the sea level can rise from the 0 point to being 2 inches above. So every place that is 2 inches above sea level will be directly inundated by the sea level. If it rises 1 meter, every place that is 1 meter high will be inundated, that is flooded by seawater. That's exactly what sea level rise means.
The land, the shore, was about 10 kilometers from here. The shore, the seashore of this very village was about 10 kilometers away from here. You can capture that boat going, so you know what we have lost to the sea. This building, the collapsed building here, is a residential building. It was a story building. So the water just came. It was far inside, far from the shore, far from the water, but the water has come gradually and capture is falling down. Since the water has claimed this, so the owners, the grandchildren, now decided to build this thatch house. The water is already going in there. So in the next 3 months, let me say in the next 3 months, you won't find this building again.
From all the studies that have been modeled, should in case we are unfortunate to have a 2 meter rise in sea level, then Lagos will become history.
We know that the temperature of the earth has increased since the Industrial Revolution, and with the increase in temperature of about 1 to 2 degrees, the ocean water expands, and with that it inundates low-lying areas like we have in Nigeria.
By the time we buy the land, no water at all. But after 5 years, 6 years, water is coming small. But about 3 years ago now, water is too much. It go enter some people's house. They enter all the house, some people. It's too plenty here. It's too plenty here. Because about 5 days ago now, it fall from about 2 days, no stop. No stop at all.
Virtually, the entirety of the Nigerian coastal zone is very susceptible to erosion. 50 years ago, the Bar Beach area was almost about 1.5 kilometers offshore, the shoreline. So in about 50 years, about 1.5 meters of shoreline offshore of the coastal areas have been eroded. And so it's quite very dramatic. Erosion has a very devastating effect on the economy. Not only because of seaports or valuable land, or houses being washed away, land flooded as a result of inundation. There are a lot of very catastrophic effects which has a monetary value, a very large monetary value.
There is a quote there that the cost to Nigeria for the inundation of the coastal regions will be about $9 billion US. If you want to talk in terms of the population that will be affected, the quarter of Nigeria's population lives in the coastal regions. 35 million people will be affected.
Communities in Delta State, Bayelsa,
and river states are prone to annual floods. But in recent years, the irregularity in the coming of the floods have created problems for farmers.
The weather changes, but we expect the high flood rising at least in the month of August, September. But it came early this year.
This year, I planted this year. I couldn't make it. And this one I lost. All of them don't damage. So the money when I borrow, to plant down. To recover as I go to pay them back. Now wahala now. If you save rain for us in the fall normal in the time when they fall the other year, no wahala.
Even we, the chiefs, who are supposed to get from our relations, from our subjects, we can't get anything. They themselves have nothing. If you are going to pay school fees, no way. If you are going to buy dresses for your children, no way. So it's difficult. We don't know how to cope with it. Only God can save everybody.
People, when I borrow money, I go tell them and say, forget. I go to beg them. They go come hand money for inside. If you borrow 50,000, you go pay 70,000, 80,000, because you go put money for interest for inside.
One of our sister from Bokondo, then he borrowed money from someone with interest. Then I bought this thing and plant. After that, he expect this nothing for sale to remove the money to return to the owner. Then she go hang herself economic.
Many of the farmers are actually not adapting. They are confused. They do not know what to do. People are beginning to move away, okay, from the community to settle elsewhere. So out-migration is taking place there.
Ediyaraba, na Ediyaraba, sunan shi kenan Ediyaraba. Hausawa, Sakwada, Kanawa, Zage-zage, Katsina, mutanen yan lema, Adama, Yola, duk akwai kowane kala a ciki. Akwai Yaraba, akwai Igbo, akwai Karo-karo, ba kalan da babu, akwai yan Ghana, akwai yan Togo, kowane kala akwai. Duka sun zo neman abinci saboda kowanne su kawai shi bai zamanuwa sai ya zo nan bariki ya nemi abin da ya ce aika wa gidan shi. Lokacin da akwai abinci wani ma ba ruwa ne da Legas sai ya ji sunan Legas. Wannan tahe-tahe da muka yi na dole na.
Only what different within Lagos and North is only this water. If we have this water in the North, we can't come this Lagos and look for money. That's only the difference. Because life in North is simple past Lagos here.
We as a state, that is Lagos State, we are the receiving end of all the nation's trouble. The more we try to provide more and more infrastructure, make our environment friendly and secure, the more influx of people from other states and other neighboring West African countries that we are. And this is not unconnected with the problem of climate change, because of course, you know, one of the things with climate change is that it's basically like unbearable for people where they are.
Wajen da ina Kano ina kiwon shanu ne, matan shanu haka. Matsala kuɗi ne, su ne suka hana muka zo, muka ne sanya na ta wannan garin. Abin da ake samun duk rana, to ana samun 2,000, ana samun 1,000.
They know that the water level is not the same. They know that the harmattan is no longer coming when it used to come. They also know that even the sun is hotter than it used to be. But what is causing these changes is, where the problem is, where we need to create more awareness. Because a lot of them believe that it's because the gods are angry.
There was no rain, there was too much sun. So they have to go to the extent of calling a rainmaker. The amount they use in calling that rainmaker cost them about 40,000 naira.
In fact, in a particular village we went to, the village head said that women are now doing things they shouldn't be doing by tradition. For instance, his wife is now using his own bucket to bath. So there's a lot of ignorance about the causes of climate change. And of course, if they don't know what is causing climate change, it will be difficult to have an adaptation strategy that is sustainable.
What the BNRCC basically is trying to do is to build Nigeria's capacity to adapt to climate change.
Adaptation is simply adjusting to cope with the present situation. We've said that the climate is changing. If it's changing and it's affecting farming, it's affecting things, it's causing disasters, what adjustments can we make to be able to come to terms with these kinds of changes? That's what adaptation is all about.
I greet everybody. We came to know BNRCC. We need assistance from them so that we will not depend solely in the forest.
The snail is an important animal, so it's an alternative for meat. Instead of hunting for meat, the best thing, you go into the forest looking for it. If you are able to come about so many, you can sell it and get money.
A lot of wood is being extracted from the forest, so we introduce a fuel economic wood stove so that it will reduce the pressure for demand for fuel wood.
Since I've started using this eco stove, I don't have much firewood to consume. When I go to the farm one day to pick firewood out, it will serve me for over a week before I can go for another one.
The fish ponds in Esuki Debe and Akwa Esuki Yamba will help them to bring a kind of alternative source of fisheries. Since they depend on fishing mostly for livelihood, the men will go ahead doing the cultivation and the women are on standby to do the marketing.
A recordable meter where community members plant African bamboo to stabilize the soil and then prevents some portions of the community being swallowed up by advancing ravine.
Science has told us that if at total level of sea rise you will be gone, then what you should do, even if it's not likely to happen, is to prepare yourself.
Basically, those blocks are the X blocks that are used to protect, like rubble mounds on the beach, to protect the sandy shores from impact of the high waves.
Even if the factors which are causing climate change are stopped today, the effects will still continue for some time to come.
You can say there's already so much climate change in the air. That's why adaptation is important, and particularly so for countries that depend so much on weather for their economy.